here we go. Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is Max Farrell from DexFXMarkets.com. Today is the 29th of June. Dun, dun, dun. Really close to the end of the month. And we are here with Thor Rafferty. Good morning, Thor.
Good morning.
And, of course, Christophe Gagne.
Good morning, Max. Good morning, Thor.
Hey.
All right, listen, as both of you know, we've had a lot of stuff happening over the weekend. Back in November of last year, we got told by our friends over at Nadex that they were going to be coming out with a brand new platform. And they released an email on Sunday, or Friday, or whatever day it was, that they would be switching over to a new login page to start the process of getting people used to being within their new system. And by November of this year, would start and release the value of that new system full-fledged. Okay. Well, Sunday night, they released their new login series, which we knew would have some consequences. We knew that the ZDON automation system was going to be sort of attacked with that process. Now, I do want to talk about the DEN. We're going to be talking about the Dex Exclusive Network today, but I need to use this first little part to kind of make a video with my partners on what is going on with the ZDON itself. So we will, I promise, stick around. We're going to talk about the DEN and this new date that we have up here for the release, or not the release, but the closing of the doors. But I want you all to know that we take this very seriously. And it is literally like a cat and mouse game. Okay. We also have Paul Davey on. Hey, Paul, glad we make it. I know you got to work and you get in a little.
Yeah. Hi, Max. Glad to be here. I'll watch the rest of it on catch up later.
I'll have to catch up. We didn't record the beginning part of it. So you're getting just when we are. All right. The process for us is always a little crazy, right? We just can't knee jerk and go. Everybody's like, well, you should have been ready. You should have had a new one, right? We've had a couple of clients say, you should have had it ready by now. You know, you've had it for so long. You're absolutely right. We had the system for a while. We knew what their new system was, right? And their new system, like if we think about Nadex is just a box, right? And we say, okay, and that box in front of it has a wall. And here's us with our little ZDON system. Originally, we could go to the wall and you as the owner of your Nadex account, okay, because you have to do, the ZDON would put in your credentials and the door would open and the ZDON would go in and then it could attach to all the different wonderful things on the network, okay? So with that kind of mentality, when the door would open for us to be able to go in, what you did as a customer gave the ZDON system permission, since this is your bot, right? Sitting on your computer, on your VPS or what have you, you are giving it permission to go in and do a particular job, which primarily was the only thing we really cared about. You know, that connection is the toughest thing to create. There's only 3 companies in the entire world that have ever created one. And one of them had the API from Nadex to be able to do it. We don't even have the API. We have a very unique process that we created to be able to do this. Now, because we created this with a unique product, I don't know if Nadex kind of went, what is this system that keeps asking for permission to come in? And so what they've done is that they've added some security, which is good to a degree. But what they have done is basically said anything that asks permission in this value, say no to. That's basically it. They basically put the big old guy at the front door who goes, what's the password? You know, and if you don't, even if you give it and he doesn't like the sound of your voice, he's not going to let you in. That's the basic layman terms of what I can tell you of what's happening right now with Nadex. They've created some shells around the site and the login forms that does not let us have an opportunity to even breach this process. Now, because we use legitimate code and we don't try to hack anything, we don't try to overcome it by some sort of loophole or something, we generally just go straight for the form and ask and put the details in that you provide. We never have any of your details. So we don't hold any of your private passwords or anything else. We will ever have access to any of that detailed information. And because we follow those rules and regulations, we were allowed to do that. And even though that now they put on this extra security, there still are ways for us to be able to get into there. But why are we waiting? Why did we wait until now? Well, we knew that if we created the system to work on their new platform, if this was the new platform, we still had to worry about, could they change the connection value? And if they changed the connection value at any time, would it break this? And was this the finished product? These are questions we didn't know and couldn't have answers to without being in the inside of Nadex. We didn't know if the new connection systems were all going to remain the same from what we were seeing back in November. And we were patient. And the reason why we were patient is that it takes a lot of man hours to build these little things to make those work. So we waited, and I'm glad we waited. I really am. I'm really glad we waited because it showed us a few things. Nadex flipped this login detail around. And even as they did a new login detail just recently, let me pull it up here. This is the new login detail system. Their new system, even past this, okay, this is only for their old system still. Their new login system for their old demo system and live system is different than the one that they're using for their new platform. You see? So both are different. And we don't know which one they're going to end up using or if either until they release. So we're going to create solutions for, and that's 4 different solutions we got to create because the demo for the old system and the live for the old system are 2, even though it looks like it's the same form, they're set up 2 different ways. And it's frustrating because we're running into a roadblock with that process. Even if we do fix this, can they switch it around to be something else later and break the system? We don't want it to be broken, once or twice a week from this nonsense that's happening. I get it, right? If Nadex is supposed to be impartial, why would they be fighting that process so much? Well, because even though that we're ethical and we work very hard to keep that legality in mind and the regulation in mind, there are a lot of people out there, and believe me, there are a lot of people out there who are much more talented than I am, and our programmers are, that take advantage of that process. That Israeli company really does take advantage. They've sold thousands of their copies of their bot, and a lot of it is created by malicious code. And the frustrating part is that people keep buying it. So we tried to remain as open and as upfront as possible with this solution. The unfortunate thing is that some of you that have come here, okay, I'm going to give you a word of warning. I am the nicest dude you could probably ever talk to and be in business with and work with. I am one of the nicest people, and I'm saying that not be sound. God, I sound like Donald Trump. I am the nicest guy ever. But I am one of the nicest people that you can work with. But if you try to come in and be disrespectful or be, throw some, I don't know, some things that a couple of clients have said so far have been very rude. Okay. So if you come in and you're going to be rude, you're going to get rude in return. That's just the way it's going to be. This isn't the client is always right kind of mentality. I've been nothing but respectful and honest and upfront with all of you on what we have done. If you come in and you're going to be rude, I'm not going to let a couple people ruin the good mood that I'm in this morning, because I know that we have a pathway. I know that we have thought about this and we have given this a lot of great thought. So if you've come in for just the ZDON, please be patient. You'll get the ZDON still. You'll have that. If you're in the den and you're here just for the ZDON, you may want to rethink your attitude. You may want to rethink if you came in and you were one of the ones that came in with a little bit of attitude with it. I think you may want to rethink being in the den, because we don't handle that kind of attitude in there lightly. Okay. We're in there to make money and work hard. If you are just here just to kind of throw a couple minutes a day at your ZDON system, think about staying in the green room and not in the den, because I'm prepared to put in a lot of time and effort with you to get you to a point. And if you think you could do better someplace else, then please do. I'm not here to try to cater to that. What I'm here to do is to help you make money. And if you're here to be in the den, no matter what has happened with the ZDON, the system for what we have created for trading the system live, this was done in not in automation. This was done in live accounts. This was done. Oh, that was the automation one there. I'm trying to find words. Okay. This was done in manual trading. This person gets up every day and trades every day, makes his money. So far for the month of June, he's made close to a little bit more than $1,500. And by the way, he only started on the 12th of June. So theoretically, it's about a half a month. You figure about he could have made at least $2,500 to $3,000 for his first month trading one contract at a time. So if you're serious, and this person is he's in at all types of hours, but how much time do you really need? Even if you were able to do half of what he does, that would be about $1,500 a month, a little bit less, $1,400 a month that you could do with one contract at a time. If you paid attention, you focused, and you worked hard to get to that point, then simply add per contract 1 or 2, 3, 4 contracts, depending on your balance, as you incrementally crawl to get to those numbers. So don't think for a second that we don't know that if the ZDON never came back out, and all you folks out there that are either upset, and we have a lot of people in there, then there's not very many upset. There's only 2 or 3 people that came in with a little bit of attitude. And I get it. I understand. You're frustrated. Things happen. No one's more frustrated than myself and Christoph and Thor and Paul, who put in years worth of time to be here to make this work, and hundreds of thousands of our own dollars and time. So there's nobody more upset than us. But one thing we all take solace in is that we work hard to figure it out. And I don't think anybody that's on the phone right now or in our midst of this video could deny that. So that's the last time I'm going to say anything about it. I think that we have a very good system at hand right now for trading ATMs, trading manual, not spending a lot of time. I mean, because really David Menning only spent maybe an hour or so a day fully on trading, 2 hours a day trading to make a very good possible living. And if you don't look at $1,500 as the living or $2,000 as the living, because he's trading one contract, you look at the possibility of what we call consistency, and that consistent value of how much money is he making average per day over 20 something days worth of trading here. And he's hitting that $100, $110 mark every day. That's incredible. Already at $96 this morning. Okay. You may not have been up at 5 a.m., but he was. And you may have 3 kids and a dog and a wife or a husband and have a job and have all that other kind of stuff. But I'm pretty sure you could carve out an hour or 2 a day. And if you don't think you can, then maybe it's not for you. I get it. But if you're sitting in that den right now, waiting for June 30th to hit, you are on the right track. If you're willing to put in the time and the effort and the work, we're willing to do it for you as well. But don't think for a second that we won't have the availability to have the ZDON. The new ATM signals aren't even out. This is all still off the 1 hour signals. Oh, this is the ATM system that he's using. My bot that I was running with the ZDON did this this is the 15th. So this is a half a month, but from last Friday. So this would have been doing about $1,200 to $1,500 a month at one contract at a time. But again, go figure, as soon as it starts to really produce one little login kick, that's all it takes. We want to have it to be able to be more robust, but that takes a lot of money and time. And by the way, let's be serious about this. If anybody could make something that was just set and forget, do you think they'd be charging you $147 or $157 a month? No. You got work to do. Think all the time and effort that we put in this was for nothing? No. We still have it. It's still there. The data's there. Their 1 hour signals aren't going away. Their 2 hour signals aren't going away. Their dailies aren't going away. Their binaries aren't going away. And even if they do, what will we do, Chris?
Come up with something different.
Trade coconuts.
It's like coconuts.
Yeah.
Right? We'll sell coconuts. And whoever's honking the horn agrees with me. Honk if you agree with me. There you go. He did. So that's where we're at. We have a tremendously strong system of trading. Now, what's going to happen over the wrong one. Here we go. This is, I don't know if you can see this screen too much, but this is basically the levels that, let me enlarge this just a little bit. Let's do it like that. Maybe that's a little better. Ugh. Okay. So basically what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be creating these levels that when you first come into the den. Okay. By the way, before we get started in the den, does the panel, or does anybody here have any questions or anything they want to add?
I'm good.
Me? Yeah. It's all well explained, Max. I think we knew this was going to happen to you at the beginning. So
Yeah.
and no problems here. We just, like everything else, we just find our own way and sort it out.
You're absolutely right. That's why I love Paul. He's so cavalier about stuff. Like, well, let's get it done. Let's go. Stop complaining about it. Let's move. All right. Listen. So the very first thing you're going to do in the den, and this is what's going to happen. Now, if you've noticed on the front homepage of the website, we crossed out June 30th, said July 7th is the last day. We did this for a reason because we ran up against a couple of roadblocks. I wanted to have a few more things released before the door closed. I wanted to give people an opportunity. We did have a very good response. I turned away quite a few people. That's right. First time in a very long time that I've had to say no to more than 2 or 3 people. I've had to say, I'm sorry, but I don't think this will be right for you. And I still have some people inside the network that we probably will have to say goodbye to. Knowing who they are and what they're doing and what they want, I know it's going to be tough. And when they say the things that they do, I know that I won't be able to help them to the level that they want. Right? You're not coming in and watching other people trade to copy what they're trading. I'm not going to be going trading for you. So we decided to keep this open for a little while longer to July 7th till we can, I can get back from, and I know it sounds really bad, right? If this is the first time you've ever heard me talk or heard me talk about the process or who I am, you know I don't take vacations, but I am on the 3rd. I'm leaving on the 3rd and won't be back until the 7th. So I'll be back the 6th and I'll be back to work on the 7th. But that little 4-day vacation, 5-day, whatever it is probably the first in, I don't know, when's the last time you guys saw me take a vacation? I don't know, a long, long time. I don't even know if I have. I think I have. I can't remember. When I had my heart attack. That's right. Sorry. That's a bad joke. So on July 7th, that's when we're going to restart the process. In the meantime, on June 30th will be on July 1st, actually. I sent out an email this morning. Maybe some of you got it. There's a copy of it there. On July 1st, we'll be having our first webinar at 3 p.m. I know it's a little late for Paul. Might be a little bit late, but we'll work on something. Eventually, we'll have about 2 to 3 webinars on the webinar day that we're going to have the webinar. We're going to have 2 or 3 versions, maybe just 2, one in the mid morning and one in the mid evening. Okay, say 7, 8 o'clock, right in that area, to kind of help those people that are working during the day to be able to still get that hands-on. Because these webinars aren't just going to be webinars; they're going to be meetings, and they're going to have the members of the den who will be able to come in and ask questions and see something live and talk about a few things in there. We will also have a communication network, which we'll talk about in this little list that we're talking about now. When you first come into the system, the first thing you do is you're going to get tagged with you're going to be completely tracked from beginning to end, okay, or beginning to the beginning of your life, right? So we're going to start with, we got to find out at what level you want to be at, all right? So starting July 1st, we're going to be organizing. You're going to be filling in. It's first come, first serve at that process. Who's ever getting the consults in when they're ready? There'll be myself, Christoph, and Thor doing these consults to fill out the forms to find out exactly what levels you're going to be at. Everybody, and I mean everybody, starts out learning the ATM, either Dexatomic or the 1-hour TNT system ATM. Because guess what, folks? If you can cut this, okay, if you can cut doing this at particular times, if I isolate the variables of different time frames of like say from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 p.m. And isolate those, we're going to be in the high success rates in some sessions and lower success rates in others. While the bot is trading 100% all day long, there are some sessions that are better off than others. And so you can still do that. You can still trade during those times using the signals themselves. And in our network of the Discord system, I'm going to have what we call an SMS availability for you to be able to get emails of those particular trades happening. And you'll be able to go to your Nadex phone or do whatever you want to do at that point and put your $45 working order or $55 working order on. Very strong for you. So this is no joke. We are going, whether or not Nadex, if Nadex comes out, and let me be very clear with you. If Nadex comes back and is like, we're never going to let you attach with a bot, what would you do then? Can't pound your fists on the ground. You can't throw a tantrum. You can't be upset. You can't be demanding that you get every single cent you've ever put into the system. What you need to do is alternate your way of thinking into a way that works for you, not against you or against anybody else or seeks revenge or does anything else. Trust me, I've spent enough time on the revenge model and the pissed off model thinking I got ripped off more than anybody. In fact, in the very beginning of our lives here at Dex, that's what built this company, is that fuel, that anger, that frustration. But it got nothing but heartache for me, literally. And the moment that I started to shift my mentality into build something ethical and work hard for it, that's what we created here. I can show you how to trade the 1 hour signals. I could show you how to trade the ATMs. That's what myself and David Menning are doing. Okay. Chris is using a hybrid of everything in the kitchen sink, which I love. Mr. I'm Not a Trader made $49 this morning or yesterday or last night, 10 p.m. Made $50 last night at 10 p.m. So tell me, if you have the time, you want to make it work, this is how you do it. You get in and just start doing it. So we'll start off.
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, I won a $55 trade this morning as well. Okay. So that's essentially, that's $100 and over my last 2 trades. I went live, by the way. I'll make that announcement now, so he won't yell at me in public.
Okay. So he's live. He's live. He won his trades but failed at journal keeping. I get it. He's going to be the first person to go to Den Track.
It's called Den Purgatory. Den Purgatory, Max.
Den Tracking Purgatory. There you go. So you're going to start off. You're going to do a console. You're going to set up a console. And I don't care if you talk to us a million times. This will be your Den console. This will be us really, if we haven't talked for a while, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk for a few minutes. You're going to have to carve that time out. We're going to choose a time period. Okay. We're going to choose a session. We're going to know when are you going to be doing this and when you're not. You're going to have to be honest with your time. If you're going to come at us with, well, I got 16 weeks and I won't be able to do anything because, I got my kids' school and I got that. I'll tell you, I'm going to put you right back into the green room. I'm deadly serious. We at Dex Effects Markets, in the Den, it's a different game plan. It is not for those that are going to come up with excuses. It's not for those that don't see themselves being able to get the money to trade with. It's not for those people who are on a chip in a chair. Oh, I only got $27. How can I trade? You won't be able to do it. Collect cans, get the coconuts, sell hot dogs, do whatever you could do to make it work, to get the money to trade, practice the trading. So by the time you're ready, you're on it. These 2 systems work. It's guaranteed work, but you have to work it. I can't guarantee that you're going to make the money because that's ridiculous. You could go in there and put wrong directions on everything and screw it all up. But it's our job to teach you. So you'll go to Den Learn at that point, and you'll learn by watching some of the videos, if you haven't already, learned about either whatever system you're going to be doing. You're going to learn it. You're going to stick with one system at a time. Don't try trading 40 different things at once. Sorry, I had to. I love you. The you're going to learn one thing, and you're going to learn it well, and you're going to do it so well you're going to be able to do it in your sleep. And when you can do it in your sleep, you're going to do it because that's what you're going to go to Den Train for. You're going to get in there, you're going to learn it well, you're going to train it, and you're going to train yourself to do those at those times with that success constantly, whether it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, or 2 months. It doesn't matter until you get it down to where it's like bing, 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 done. You're not going to go anywhere. And the entire time, you're also going to be tracking. So as soon as you start going through and training, you're going to put your tracking on. So this is an immediate jump. Each one of these is like a level. You're also going to be in Den Communicate, which is the Discord unit. And that Discord system is very powerful as well, because it has a lot of communication availability. It has a lot of little rooms. You can ask questions and you get immediate answers, if not from us, then from other Den members who have gone through the series as well. And each will have a tag at what level they're at. Okay. Once you get that all down and we can see it happening and you're ready, and that moment that you get that consistency and we see the consistency, you may see it or feel it like, Max, I've been doing it for 8 hours. I got it. No, let's see a couple more trades done. Maybe you only need a couple more days. Maybe you need just another 8 hours. Who knows? But you'll have to give way to our experience and give way to our thoughts on what you're doing and how you're doing it. David Menning waited 2 weeks. He worked very hard. He'd been trading months prior to. I'm sure Ron Fickert, Tim O'Neill, there's other people that have put a lot of effort and time into their tracking, into their process. And there are success stories in there. So once that happens, you're going to go to Den Consult. And this consult is like, it'll probably be the biggest consult of your life. And I'm telling you this because that consult to go live is one that has shown us that you're ready, that we see the tracking, we see the consistency. And what does consistency look like? Consistency looks like this. Here is David Menning's trades in the very beginning. He started on the 2nd of June. Now remember, this is the 29th of June. Hasn't even been a full month for David Menning in the process. Trained, tracked, and made money in 1 month. Doesn't mean you're going to do it in 1 month. Doesn't mean you're going to make $2,000 or $1,500, but it does mean that you have the potential to do so. Because if one can do it, another can do it. And if he could do it, I could do it. Chris could do it. Thor could do it. Paul could do it. All these people can do it. Why can't you? So he came in 2nd of June. He had some losses. Started to get his pace down. Remember, this is all still manual. This is not some sort of bot in here trading. Well, even though David Menning could be considered a bot, he's not. He's a retiree, has plenty of time on his hands, got his experience. He knew the more time he put in, the more he'd get out of it. And he traded and he traded. Oh, look at that run. That's a beautiful run. That's got to be like a happy-go-lucky run. And then he gets his first loss. He goes, yep, that's okay. I'm good. But in and trading and training and training. Sorry, this is probably a hurtful little time period, but still worked its way around. He had a couple lost days in the very beginning of the month. But as he gets to that process, he goes from the 2nd of June to the 12th of June. And on the 12th of June, he goes live. Just like Chris announced that he went live this morning. David Menning went live on June 12th. Began to track. And if you think this is difficult to do, it's not. It's very easy to do. You take a little bit of time. You use this as a breather period between your trades. We show you the pacing of how it works. You're not just in fast and furious. You're not sitting at your computer all day. We're going to tell you not to sit at your computer all day. We're not idiots. We want you to be successful. We don't want you to be fatigued and overworked and stressed out. We're going to tell you when to watch the trade and when not to watch the trade. And look how huge this is. So if you're watching this right now and you're wondering how easy is it to get to this point, that's how easy it is. This could be 2 weeks. This could be 3 weeks. This could be 4 weeks. You could be a superstar like David Menning and be in 2 weeks. You could be better than David Menning and be a week. I don't know. But I'd say from 2 weeks to a month, you should be able to get this down and get this to a consistency level. If you have time to put in it, Only put in the time you can afford to put in, of course. Get it trained, get it in your brain, get it working, track the results, get it on board, communicate all along the way, get ready for your consult live. Once that happens, you go live. Now, do you think it just ends here? No. You go to another special area inside Discord to where you're kind of left alone. You know, if you want to be in the other rooms and answer questions and do that kind of stuff, and you got the mentality to do that, David Menning does, Ron Fickert does, a handful of other people in there do, then that's your contribution. And we can't thank you enough for that. But you'll be also put in another special room where you'll be in there trading live, making sure that everything is going good. You got, you know, we're tracking some processes in there. Once you go live, we make sure that, you know, you're at the levels that you can afford to pay the other fees that have to come with it once you go live. Because once you go live, the first month after you go live, there's a $50 charge after that first month, after you've made money, That second month is $100. That third month, $250, and the fourth final is $500. But then you'll be paying $500 a month, but you also should be making between $5,000 to $10,000 a month. That's not a guarantee. That's just a statement from me, what I feel you could be making at that point. But let me tell you right now, none of this is hypothetical. Because if Mr. Menning can be making $1,500 with one contract, what stops him from making $3,000? Simply add another contract. We know CVG. If you don't by now, then you haven't been paying attention. To get your gear and get your ass in gear and get ready. Because a lot of people filled in to build into that process. Right now, we have 30 committed people to the process. We've had a couple people come to us and I've had to deny them. We've had a couple people join and I've had to stop them and remove them and put them back in the green room. Because you have to have the want and the will and of course the respect to be here. I want you to keep in mind that the people that you're listening to talk, myself and within reason, Chris and Paul and Thor, if I ever let them get a word in edgewise, they've put in so much time and effort to be here for you. You could afford to do some of your own here to get to the wealth that you want to get to, the success. Because let me tell you, this is success, but not wealth. Your true idea of success is only a little tiny stopping point in your life. What happens now is what we call the Den Wealth Program. And the Den Wealth Program is something that will help you start putting together your values of how much money you need to be making, what you have to take out, what you have to put to the side, what you have to prepare for, those things to help you keep your wealth. Because once you do get to success, you got everybody and their mother going to try to take it from you. And this is where your real training comes in. This is where your long-term values start to come in. What can you invest in? What can you build? What can you develop yourself? Do you want to own your own company? Do you just want the money? You're going to go on vacations. You're going to go build stuff. You're going to buy stuff, whatever it's going to be. We want to be there for you. And this wealth program comes into mind of a lot of different opportunities that will be there for you as well. And you'll be surrounded by others that have gone through this program and that have made their money and are making money. And as we pull things together, we could build and make anything at that point. So if you have that desire, this is where you need to be. No joke. If you're worried about the money to get in to the network, well, if you already have a membership, if you're a founder, if you're a co-founder, if you're a lifetime member already, you don't have to pay the upfront membership fee. The upfront membership fee as it stands right now is $2,400. But we've also broken that down into possibility of payments of $100 or $200 a month. And if you have a problem even with that, I know Chris is a deal maker, apparently makes a lot of good deals for people. Get a hold of him and we'll make a deal for you. See, because I would love just to make and bring in everybody for free and then sit down and find out who really wants to do it. But that would waste so much more of my time. I know that if you have the want and the will, you'll pay the money, you'll be in it, and you'll be ready to go. Because we're putting our money where our mouth is. I expect you to do the same. And get ready, because it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun, and you should be able to get there pretty quickly. With that said, you guys got anything you want to contribute to now? Sorry, I'm sucking all the air out of the room.
I think that pretty well sums it up.
Did I suck all the air out of the room? Thanks, Tor. I appreciate it.
No. Where we are with this process. I mean, this is a process, and we've mapped this out for a reason. I shouldn't say Max has mapped it out. He's the primary.
Well, don't kid yourself. Where do you think I got all this information from? From your guys' experiences.
Yeah.
From working with you guys. From working with the thousands of people that contributed as well and put their time in. See, I'm the lucky one. It makes me look smart when I'm like, this is the way we're going to go. Because this is the natural flow, what people have showed me. That's you guys. When I first started teaching Paul trading and scalping, he just went with that. Man, he is like a dog with a bone. Just go get it done. Strong.
Yeah, don't procrastinate. Just get on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me your problems. Give me your solutions.
Correct. And as he knows, I'll always be up front with him and work hard for him, and he'll work hard for me.
Oh, I've had my wrist slapped several times.
Yeah, no. You got to tell your wife to stop doing that, because that wasn't my fault. Recently, I just found out that Paul's, never mind. Very nice guy. Forgot, I shouldn't say things in private that we've talked about. No, I'm a gamer, and I like playing games. I like having fun. I like competition, doing those kind of things. So it's cool to find out other people in your life do the same. But listen, everything is here has been brought to us by everything that we have done, all of our experiences. You don't get companies like this out there in the world anymore. You get companies that are only out to make a shortcut to get the money, and that's it. So get ready, get on board. If you have questions, call, ask. That alone tells you we're a legitimate company. I'm not here to sell you this morning. You'll get your consults on. You're going to get emails from us on a daily basis from June 30th on everything that you need to do. And if you're not getting those emails, if you're watching this on a live webinar, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, and you're not in, get your ass over there. We are extending it to July 3rd. But listen, at this point, the green room, everything, all pricing to the DexFX market stops. There's no availability to get in even to the green room after July 7th. None. So if you're a paid customer right now, whatever you have paid to be here so far, I don't care if you've been here for 6 months, 6 minutes, or 6 years, that'd be cool. But whatever has been accumulated to that point, up to that $2,400, will be taken off your bill, will be taken off your membership fee. And for those that say, well, you know, I'm a founder, or I'm a lifetime member, I shouldn't have to pay anything. Why am I going to pay a service fee later on? Well, because remember how I said that if you wanted something that was going to be automated and that was generate your wealth, that it would cost you much, much more than the measly $157. If I'm making you $7,000 to $10,000 a month by teaching you these processes and giving you these efforts and giving you this support, if that $500 isn't worth it to you, then you've never owned a business. You've never had your tools or support. You've never been in real estate. You've never been in anything that creates wealth for you. And that will become a problem. That'll be a mentality that you will not be able to get to success because you can't see the value in getting your resources. Free resources are for those that are trying to kick tires and figure shit out. Paid resources, when they're real and they're strong, you don't have a problem paying. And because we're staggering it only after you make money, and we're staggering it over a 4-month period to get you up to incrementally crawl along with you with that, And trust me, if you're not making the money, we'll find out. We'll see that you're, because we're tracking the stuff with you. And we're not here to keep an eye on every little, oh, you made too much money this month. Now you got to put you another level. But if you find yourself not making enough during a particular time or something happens, or you have a losing streak or something happens, we'll alter. We'll figure shit out. You need to drop back down to the $50 a month one because you only made $100 or $200 or $1,000 or $1,500 that month. We'll alter. Just got to make a phone call. You're ready to jump up to the bigger series because, we've had a couple people like, Max, I'm already making money with your stuff. What are you doing in the den? Just go sit in the green room. He goes, I want to be in your wealth program. So he came in and he'll be starting directly at like one of the second top levels. Doesn't have a problem paying the money. It's a mentality. That's it. That money doesn't go just to myself. It goes to Paul, it goes to Thor, it goes to everybody, and they're doing the work. It goes to the systems that we've paid thousands and thousands of dollars for a month to be here for us, to work for us. That's what we're doing. No more justification on it. It is what it is. All right. If you guys have questions, you got issues, give us a call, get on board, get the consults. I will get that list out to you. It'll be in your, when we have the July 1st webinar, June 30th, like early in the morning, you'll get probably your first July 1st, early in the morning, you'll get your first emails of welcome to the den. Here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to go to a special form, fill out all the information, and then you'll go to a consult page and you'll pick your time and we'll sit down and we'll start going through the process and we'll start the timer on where you're supposed to be at and what you're supposed to do. And a lot of it'll be automated. There'll be some manual stuff that I have to teach the guys what to do. But we'll still have the chat room. We'll still have these things. And if you have questions, you'll get plenty of information as we go, but it's going to be fast paced. It's going to be quick. You've been sitting around chomping at the bit all this time. Be ready because it's coming. Go right around the corner. All right. You guys got anything in final you want to chuck in before we call out?
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
This is Chris. Just to let everybody know, I started on the 18th of June, and I went live last night. There was a Sunday, but the reason for me, and and Max and I rib each other all the time, so I got thick skin. But at any rate, really just I did the smorgasbord, if you will, for what it is that I like to trade and what I think that I'm good at. Because the paradox is, right, are you good at it because you like it, or do you like it because you're good at it? And I really found that the manual 1 hour ATM trading is what I really liked. I felt most at ease with that. For those, oh no, the Zedon and stuff, time and things of that nature. I can understand that as well as we all can, but just to encourage you, pick either a time or, the ATM, ITM. Thor puts out a lot of information. And what Max said earlier, just to reiterate, is find a process that you really enjoy, that you like, and that you can get really good at. Just one thing, and you'll be successful at it. So that's all I wanted to say. It's
a lot, and it means a lot, because Chris was a constant defamer of himself. I'm not a trader. I won't be able to do this. Yeah, you will. Because it's a lot of thought and a lot of, up and down. And I said, the charts are simple. The process is simple. Make it simple. And that's what he did. And the moment he made it simple, the moment that he gave it that clarity, like I use which one gives you less agita or less, compact stress. He found that. Now, how did he do that? He found that by trading as many of the variables in there, what's going to work with him? Am I going to work with the Zedon and keep programming that? Am I going to do 2-hour manual trades? Am I going to work with the Zedon 1 hours? Yeah, that gives me some time and I can add some points to it, but it really doesn't yield for me as much as I want it to be without paying a lot of attention to it. Then he found manual 1 hour, manual 2 hour, manual 1 hour. And then slowly you started to see it goes manual 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. So he found his level. And I think even, look, let me tell you, if I were to take all of this stuff out and just put in manual 1 hours, what level of success would he really have? Okay. So the question is not so much, you know, let me go find out what'll work with me. I could talk to you for a few minutes and tell you. I could have probably saved Chris a lot of time in here by telling him, listen, the 1 hour ATMs work so well that it will create less stress for you. Because I'm going to be asking you those questions as we go along. You know, are you a fast-paced trader? Do you even know yet? No, I don't know yet. Well, then let's start out with something simple. And if you want to go harder, we'll go harder. See, that's how it's all going to start for all of you. The questions will be asked, the answers will be given, a solution will be found, progress will happen, will go live, success will be arrived at, and then from that point, we'll create wealth. That's the pathway you'll follow from this point on. I want to say thanks to Thor, Paul, Chris, and to all of you for watching today. This will be one of the last videos we're going to be doing on the live channel here for YouTube. All the rest of the videos will be done and recorded in a den after June 30th. We'll probably do one more of these videos tomorrow as a last big hurrah. Well, actually, you know, let's extend that to the 7th, but we won't be doing them every day for you. This week, June 30th will be the last day we'll be doing a live video regularly. And then we might do one periodically, maybe next Friday, and another one probably on the 7th of the following week after I get back. Or actually, I'll be doing one Thursday. I'll be doing another one of these videos on Thursday, the 2nd, because I'll be gone the 3rd. I'll be back the 6th, and we'll do probably one last video for all you guys here live on YouTube at 7 on the 7th. But if you're watching this one right now, if you're waiting for one of those other videos to prove it anything more, then you're probably not ready for the den. If you're not leaving this video right now to go get into the den, then you're probably maybe ready just for the green room. If you want success and you only want to obtain it by yourself and figure it out by yourself, and you don't want to have the overburden of somebody watching over you and helping you, then the green room is your place. The tools work. You just got to work them. I'm Max. This is Dex. We'll see you next time. And as always, trade well.